This is Isaiah Stevens auditioning for Damon. This is Isaiah Stevens auditioning for Virus. This is Isaiah Stevens auditioning for Triad. Hello, I'm Isaiah Stevens, and welcome to the documentary of my high school film class. I'm doing this documentary to showcase just my love of voice acting, this weird form of magnificent theater. I'm going to show you some of my process, some just how the recording process is, and then just showing how different characters can be and the physicality of it and everything. Let's just start off with why I want to be a voice actor. Growing up, I always loved just doing crazy, weird voices and characters and scenarios. And elementary school, I just make up these elaborate stories of, what if a fat guy chased an ice cream truck with a rocket-powered motor scooter? And it would just have me and my friends die laughing. So I just came up with wild characters and came up with stories, but I never really knew, I liked watching cartoons, I liked mimicking cartoons, but I never knew that was an actual job, obviously, because I wasn't thinking about a job. But I didn't actually really get into it until about, I was 12 years old in 6th grade. It was during Christmas time, and we were doing just a play out of the textbooks of the Christmas Carol, and I was Scrooge, and I stood up in front of my class and performed. It was, every other student didn't care, obviously, they were all 12-year-olds, but I got up there and I did my British accent, and I hunched back over like an old grumpy Scrooge, and I would wave my finger. I would get into it, and I was just having fun. But then I saw the reaction of my classmates, and that really excited me. And it's the first time I felt like the cool kid, because I still am pretty much quiet in school and stuff like that. But those few days where I got up in front of the class of 10 kids and put on an old man British voice and read my lines, it was so exciting, and I still remember how it felt. I hadn't found anything like that. But enough about the backstory. I want to show you guys what this weird, amazing, fantastic recording process looks like. Here we have footage of me recording something I wrote and performed, a comedy sketch called Mama Gazpacho. And you can see that I'm playing two different characters. One is Anthony Burr, the radio host that is interviewing Mama Gazpacho, and I'm playing Mama Gazpacho, a chef that lost her cooking show in the late 80s because she pulled a gun on set and shot at a rat. You can see that there's different physicalities that each character has.
Hello and welcome back to Banter with Burr. I'm Anthony Burr, and today we have a very special guest with us in the studio. Renowned chef and television personality, Miss Mama Gazpacho.
Anthony is this very kind of tall, skinny guy. It's got that weird Peter Griffin, what's up, Joe? It's kind of got that weird frontal mouth thing, and it's got, that southern hospitality of Bob Ross, and it's just, you mix those two together. And that's something really fun to do, is just taking random impressions and mixing them into one, and it comes out as a great voice. But you can see, it's not just the voice, it's the way they move their hands, the way they stand, the way their face looks when you make their voice come out of your face. So Anthony's very just calm, well-mannered, southern hospitality kind of guy. And then you look at someone like Mama Gazpacho.
Today, we're making the Bow Buster Hoagie.
This loud, rude, destructive force of nature that wants to get her new show on the air. You can see that I'm slouched over, I make my face into this ugly scowl, I'm pointing a lot, I'm gesturing a lot because she's a lot more excitable than Burr. Burr just has his hands down by his waist, always holding like a coffee mug with two hands and a sweater. He's just very calm. But with Mama, she's just waving her arms around because she is loud. She wants people to hear what she has to say, and she doesn't like anyone else's opinions. That's just who she is. It's not just the saying lines, but there's parts where she's smoking a cigarette, like here. And then, to get in character, I do that, even though you can't see that. When you fully immerse yourself into a character, and you get all aspects of their personality, and you have this image in your head, you can't just stand straight and say their lines. You have to be that character. You have to smoke what they smoke. You have to wave your arms around. You have to jump around if they jump around for whatever reason. You gotta become this new person and forget who you are. But besides voice acting, I've also done live performance stuff, like stand-up comedy, and I played my guitar in front of a few people at a mall. But I've never acted on stage. I've never been in a play. So, I talked to my high school's drama teacher to get some insight.
I'm Terry McGonigal, and I teach theater arts, which includes Drama 1, Drama 2, and IB theater. My high school did not have theater at all. It wasn't until I went to college that I got involved. I had a work-study job. I was a music major, but I had a work-study job in the theater program, and so I tried out for my first play and kind of got the bug, and that's where I've been ever since. I have over 400 shows on my resume altogether, but that's directing, designing, acting. It just, a lot. I've done theater for over 50 years now. I did not come from a very supportive family. We were farmers in Kansas. Blue-collar workers, and they didn't really understand the arts at all. They didn't understand why I would go into that, why I would even go into teaching, because the salaries and that kind of thing. They were all about the dollar signs and that kind of thing. But along the way, I've picked up a lot of friends to become new family, and that's been the focus of my family life is those who enjoy what I do and support me in that way. I don't perform a lot anymore. I had a physical injury that with my vocal cords, and they were torn off, and so I have a lot of scar tissue on my vocal cords, so it makes it hard for me to perform. But I'm inspired by a lot of different kinds of things. There are some actors, a lot of the old actors like Angela Lansbury and that generation of performers that, Jerry Orbach, who really inspire me in terms of the fact that they, Mr. Orbach has passed away, but Angela Lansbury's in her 80s and is still performing. Because it's a career that you can do until the day that you're no longer around. And I really get inspired by those kind of people that just keep going after it and keep doing it because it's exciting for them, and that's what makes it exciting for me.
Just to show you the comparison between voice acting and live on stage acting, I have some stock footage of one of my high school's plays. And you can see how these people's facial expressions change, how they emote, how their physicality is. You can see that they get into character just as much as voice actors do. Voice actors just aren't seen, but the performance and the passion is still there. And I feel like voice actors don't get that same approval and appreciation that stage actors or camera actors get because you don't see them. And I don't blame them because they don't know. So maybe when people see this, they'll be aware of what goes into this. So there you have it. A little insight on what an amateur voice actor's life looks like. I wanted to make this short documentary for two reasons. One, because I want to get a good grade in class. And two, I wanted to show people how fun and weird and amazing this can be. And to show how underappreciated this is. It really is an amazing craft people work on. And I'm not talking about myself, like a douche. I'm just saying, these amazing voice actors put their soul into this. And people just think they can walk into a booth and make a silly voice. And, I mean, that's part of it. But the acting, the getting into character, the playing your part and knowing your lines. And while it may not matter to everyone, it matters to a small group of my peers that know what this stuff is about. So, when my fellow classmates, or my teacher, or my viewers on YouTube, when they see this, I hope they learned something, they had fun, and hopefully, maybe I piqued their interest in voice acting too. I don't know. It's fun. This is Isaiah Stevens. Thank you for watching. And that's all, folks.